We are back. This is episode 78 of the We Are One, You Are Two PlayStation podcast. I am your host for 77 of those 78 episodes. No, that's not true. I'm here for all 78. Rob Fanzo. I'm joined once again by a man who is upset that he doesn't have a moniker for me to call him by. Matt Rhodes.
Hey-o. Man,
Hey-o.
I like how you're messing up the intro already.
I was doing it on purpose.
Oh, yeah, accidentally
that
on purpose. Uh-huh.
I just wanted to throw people off because they would be like, "Oh, it's his podcast. How can he not be there for an episode?"
Yeah. All right.
I'm anticipating one in the future where I'm going to make you do it.
Oh.
Someone else.
Yeah. There you go. That makes sense.
We got a good show lined up for everyone today, Matt. We're going to talk about a lot of good stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to remind everybody you can find us over on Apple Podcasts, where you can like, subscribe, share us, give us a high rating, whatever you want to do. Go for it. You can also find us on Podbean, Google Play, Stitcher, Patreon, YouTube every week. I think I may have to push it back this week till Wednesday, and I may have to start doing that now that I've started a new job. So we may have to make Wednesdays the You Are Two Wednesday instead of Tuesday.
Hashtag sad.
Hashtag sad. Hashtag no one cares. Hashtag not true. We'll see. But anyway, we've got a great show lined up for everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about loot boxes today.
Ooh.
Because, I'm thinking about titling this episode The End of an Era or something like that. Something like real smart ass, where it's like, people be like, oh, the end of an era, what are they talking about? And then I'll be like, loot boxes.
Yeah.
And so, something, I don't know, we'll see.
What you're saying is you want this episode title to be clickbait.
I do. I want that little Tom Hardy gif that goes around all the time, where people are like, "That's bait," and he's shaking his finger, and shaking his head.
Yeah,
I want that. I might even put that as the picture this week.
There you go.
I'm gonna put that. That's what I'm putting as a picture this week. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about just highlighting some news. There was a lot this week, but I just want to hit a few stories. I have over 13 on the list, but
yowza!
I don't know if we'll hit all 13. We'll see how I feel about it. And then, last but not least, we're going to, of course, do the blog this week as well. I think that's all we'll have time for. We haven't played a game in a couple weeks, but with it being a slow time of summer, there haven't been a whole lot of reviews, and I really enjoy doing Metaquip. And so we'll wait till the fall. That will make its return in September when there are a bunch of games coming out. Or the end of August, actually, because Remedy will be out. Well, actually, Remedy is the only thing coming out, I think, at the end of August.
Remedy?
Yeah. Or not Remedy, Control.
There it is.
I'm thinking of the developer.
You found it.
Control.
You found it.
Yeah. I think I'm wrong, though, right? Because isn't Remnant from the Ashes also coming out August 27th, I believe? Yep,
sure. I'm just going to agree with that one.
But Dark Souls with guns, as I call it.
Oh... Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's...
You think we would know.
Listen, I listen to podcasts where they know way less than we do, and they're supposed to be, gamers as well.
All right.
I'd like to pretend that I'm more on top of it than some of the podcasts I listen to.
That makes sense.
I do listen to a lot, so... especially on my 10-minute drive into work every day.
Yeah, you're listening to less and less of podcasts because your drive is so much quicker to work.
It is. Well, yeah, that's a sad thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive right into what we always dive into to kind of get things started, what we've been playing.
Ooh.
And I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Tradition.
That's tradition. Yeah, that makes sense. It's very kind of you. Let's see, what have I been playing? I think I just had a Rocket League Fortnite week this week.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I played anything else. I can't remember. It would have been one of those EA games, if anything. Maybe some Breakout, or Burnout, rather, Paradise, maybe.
This is week 2.
Yeah, this is week 2. But yeah, I honestly don't think that I played much else. Because I had a busy week as well. I started a new job this week myself, so, coming home and to the lady at night, she's not going to be too pleased if I just jump on the video game machine as soon as I get home. Especially if she's made dinner. So, I didn't really have much time this week. I'm still kind of adjusting to this new schedule and figuring out what I can do. But she's going on vacation next week, so I'll have plenty of time to game starting on Thursday. So.
I understand that.
So yeah, just some Rocket League and Fortnite. Hopefully you and I can make some time for this A Way Out.
Yeah, we'll definitely make time for A Way Out. I want to get into that. I've been playing a ton of games this week. So.
What have you been playing, Rob?
Oh, the question is, what haven't I been playing?
Wow.
I started Darksiders, the original Darksiders, the War Master Edition, because I bought it when it was on one of the PSN sales for like $8. And I was like, well, I've never played any of these. They're making that fourth one, and they've got 3 out. So I thought, I bought the first and I bought the second one. I think they were both at $8 a piece a while ago. And the third one's on sale for $30 this week. And so I'm going to see. I'm going to play through the first one, see how I like it, play through the second one, see if I'm feeling it. And if so, I may pick up the third one before that sale stops on the 20th. So I dabbled in that. I dabbled in Yakuza 0. I got back into that. And I am currently enjoying that a lot. I started playing A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Okay.
And I really like it. I only got through the first chapter. I purposely stopped because my wife likes watching that one. She was sitting in here when I started it.
Oh, nice.
And she was just engrossed in it as I was.
That's cool.
So we both were kind of just like, I was like, I actually approached her next day. I was like, do you want me to like play this with? She's like, well, I kind of want to watch that. And I was like, okay, I'll save that then. And so I haven't really gotten back to it because we haven't had a chance to really sit down together, but in that capacity.
Oh, wait, do you hear that, Robert?
Yes.
Do you hear it in the background?
Made its return.
It's made its return. All right, continue.
See, though, this is where Dave needs to be here so he can curse us out for that siren.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then I also played a game called Judge, which is from the makers of Neon Chrome.
Okay.
And it's like a little top-down shooter game. It's okay. It's not, terribly exciting.
Yeah.
I think I played a little bit of Enter the Gungeon this week, too. I had one of those modes. I finished Vampire, and I had one of those modes where I kind of went through and I was like, something needs to hit me. You know what I mean? Like, I need to,
right.
Something needs to stick with me. And so I was having a hard time. I know I have such a huge backlog. This is like the perfect time to run through some of it because nothing's coming out. But then I was really struggling to get into anything. So, like, I looked at Days Gone, and it's still in the wrapper. I looked at Plague Tale: Innocence. I finally cracked that one open. I looked at Metro Exodus, and I was like, can't get back into that. And so I also downloaded Dauntless, but I haven't fired it up yet. So
interesting.
I almost fired up EA Access. I held back though.
Ooh, you're gonna wait for my full-fledged review.
Well, I don't know. I just really wanted to play some Madden, which I can't say I think I've ever said in the last 7 years.
Well, do you need? I don't know if you now that Madden's out. I don't think you need EA Access to play the 10-hour trial.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look and see.
Yeah, I think you still get it like the 10-hour demo. I think the EA Access just gave it to you like before the game actually came out.
Okay. Well, either way,
I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. But I also know that you can play previous EA Madden iterations there too, and so I thought maybe I'll just play an older one because I haven't played Madden since like probably 2013, 2012.
Right.
And so I thought, even if I played 18, I wouldn't care. So I'll have to look and see. Anyway, so that's that. I also thought about just firing it for NHL.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, but that's kind of the story there. I've played a lot this week, as you can tell.
Yeah,
but
that is a lot.
I enjoyed it.
That's good.
Yeah, it was nice. It was. I think Plague Tale is going to be really, really good. I highly recommend everybody check that out. I got it. It was on sale a couple weeks ago, dirt cheap. So I thought, why not? And Darksiders is really good. I'm really surprised by. It's like a generic Devil May Cry. It's a generic man's Devil May Cry.
Okay.
So I'll take it. Just in the combat, nothing else.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, shall we move on?
We shall, Robert. Let's get into the news.
Yeah. Let's hit up in case you missed it. All right. Here we go. So, in case you missed it this week, there's quite a bit of news. I'm not going to run through all of it. Just some of the stuff I thought was interesting. Apparently, I don't know, EVO went on the past week. I don't know if you pay attention to that at all, the fighting tournament.
Oh, okay. No, I do not.
They had a little joke towards the end of the event where they had a fake Metal Gear Solid character tease. And that was going to come to Tekken. They were joking about it. And they even used David Hayter's voice, I think.
Nice.
Well, he was pretty PO'd about that. And he got on to Twitter and said that basically, EVO, you failed to consult me. Or Konami, please do not ever use my voice to promote other games ever.
Savage.
So he was not happy. I mean, I can't blame him, you know. Voice actors don't get paid that much. I'm sure he does okay, but...
Yeah.
You know, it's his likeness. That's what it is. It's basically his likeness.
Yeah, of course. And
so,
in promotion of, you know what I mean?
Yes, in promotion of something that's not even existent.
Right.
So, speaking of voice actors, people have been... You and I actually had this conversation a couple weeks ago about the Avengers game.
Yeah.
And how generic it looks. And how we're concerned about that and how it had that Marvel problem.
Right.
Troy Baker kind of came out and said, he plays Bruce Banner in the game, says that he felt people were overreacting. He said, we'll always be on someone's shit list, right? So when they launched the latest trailer and put it out there, the immediate backlash from fans was, it does look like Chris Evans. It doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. Or you know who it does look like? It looks like Iron Man. It looks exactly like Captain America. It looks exactly like Bruce Banner. And then he went on to add, there's nothing we will ever be able to do that will top what you saw in the MCU. For me, they showed me what Bruce Banner looked like. I was like, oh, you stole from the Ultimates. It looks 100% like the guy from the Ultimates. And I'm like, that's my Bruce Banner. That's the guy that literally ate New York and cannot reconcile the guilt. And so Nolan North also added to this, saying, I think we're doing real justice to the true nature of the characters and to the real fans of the comic books. We did what we did growing up, imagining ourselves in those panels. That's what the game lets you do. Baker agreed. So, I don't know. I don't care. I appreciate they're defending it. I know they're in it. I still think it looks terrible. And so that's just me. But it is what it is, I guess. So, but anyway, moving on from that. All right, so I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but Days Gone actually added a crazy taxi mode.
What?
And so, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. As part of the free updates, basically it lets you go around a golf cart that looks like a taxi, picking up passengers, dropping them off at locations, keeping them happy while running over freakers for time bonuses.
That's awesome.
And so not only is that a DLC challenge that came out this week, by the time we're recording this, another free DLC challenge came out, and it's called Infested. And this one is a score-based mission as well, unless you confront never-ending waves of freakers, except the twist is you'll be burning out nests in order to create zones which will net you extra points.
Mm.
And so they've done this for like 7 weeks now, I think. I think they have a total of 7 or 10 DLCs that they're adding to. Free DLCs that is a separate thing in the menu.
Oh, okay.
And I think the experience carries over into the game. I'd have to double check on that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's funny because I keep seeing updates happening for Days Gone, but I haven't played it in so long, so I'm just like, okay, cool, I wonder what they're doing. Now I know.
And this is not part of the news, but I did see somewhere that it's like the second best or third best selling game of the last like 4 months or something of 2019.
Wow. So
it's I mean, for a critically panned game in some regards, it is crushing things.
That's awesome. It should. Like what I've played so far is pretty great.
Yeah. And so maybe I will have to hop into it after Darksiders or Yakuza. Poor Yakuza, I keep pushing it off to the side. The number 5 on the list was just simply a real simple one. Apparently Cyberpunk 2077 is probably going to be getting a new Game Plus mode. not a shock considering that, they did so much update and so much work for The Witcher 3, but there was a Reddit post that claims to have scoured PSX Extreme where they said that they were going to work on a New Game Plus mode, possibly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, that's the perfect type of game, I think, to have a New Game Plus mode because of the way it's designed and what it is. So we'll see. Number 6 on the list here that I have is just that we're a couple weeks away from Gamescom. And, of course, Geoff Keighley is a busy man organizing the opening night live. And he did say that Hideo Kojima will be there for an exclusive new look at Death Stranding. So, I thought we could take a wager. What do you want to wager? I'm going to go with the fact that he'll show us another live trailer or another gameplay trailer, and we'll still have no idea what the game's about.
Yeah, I believe whatever they show us, we're still going to be like, what the F is this game?
Yeah, and so I don't expect anything grand out of that. In fact, I expect more of the less, where we're not going to know what's going on.
I feel like we're going to be even more confused. We'll still be excited about it, but we'll be like, what did we just watch? What was that?
Yep. Now, unfortunately, this next news story is a little too late, but if you have DuckTales Remastered digitally, you may want to hang on to it, or if you purchased it, you may want to download it, because the game apparently is delisted starting August 9th, this past week. Yeah, DuckTales Remastered got delisted, so you'll no longer be able to purchase it. It will still appear in your download list if you purchased it prior to that date, and it will remain there until Sony switches off its servers, but it did get removed. So if you didn't own DuckTales Remastered, you better find a physical copy because you can't get it digitally.
Well, that sucks.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And so, people who are concerned about delisting of games, that's happening more and more.
Yeah.
Number 8, in case you missed it here, Death Stranding, of course, in the news also this week because people are confused to whether or not it is an exclusive. It was announced when it was very early in the announcement stage. They hinted that it was an exclusive. And then at some point, it was mentioned in a press release that the title would come to PC later down the line. Now, people don't know, is more or less the complaint here, or the concern here. The title is fully funded by PlayStation. It is using Guerrilla Games' Decima engine, and so that is a proprietary software suite designed to take full advantage of the PS4 hardware. But people have noticed that there's no only on PlayStation branding from the game's box art. And that release talking about it coming to PC has now been removed from a page on the system's official website listing exclusive games. So now we have no idea. So I thought I'd report that.
That's nice.
Number 9, Borderlands YouTuber known as Supmato has gotten himself into trouble for sharing particular information about the upcoming Borderlands sequel. He actually had Take-Two private investigators arrive at his home and question him about his Borderlands 3 leaks. 3 leaks. And so, I don't know what to think of that, but apparently he's been under investigation for 10 months as part of a broader look into leaked information. And so some people were trying to get hashtag boycott Borderlands trending.
Why?
Because they did not feel like it was their job to investigate him, or that they should be investigating him for leaking information. However, you and I both know that anybody that signs an NDA, I think that's proper recourse.
Yeah, 100%.
That they investigate.
It's definitely their right and their duty to be investigating that.
Their product.
Yeah, exactly. It's their product. They should have control over what they want to,
see come out.
Yeah, have come out and shown to people. I understand leaks are going to happen or whatever, but, good on them for putting their fist, down.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they put their foot down, too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. God, for the life of me, I could not think of the extremity. I was like, put their hand down, I was like, screw it, I'm going with fist.
But, and so I'm all on, I'm sorry, if I have to take a side here, I am totally on the side of Take-Two. Not because I'm a fanboy or anything of that nature, just simply the fact that you and I have had devs on here who have contacted us after we've podcasted with them, who have said, look, I think that violates my NDA. Could we please cut that out? Whether it was good or interesting or just run-of-the-mill information, it didn't matter. We didn't want to violate their trust, and I would think that they wouldn't want to violate their publisher's trust, and so I don't think it's fair to say that if he's violating the trust that he did nothing wrong.
Right.
He, I'm sure, has signed an NDA, and he has subsequently deleted many of his Borderlands 3 videos, and his Discord channel has been shut down. Now, whether that's through pressure or what, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if it's proprietary, they could probably they could have Discord shut his channel down, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I know
I'm
if
sure.
if with YouTube or whatever, if the place marks it as copyrighted,
Right.
you don't necessarily have to take it down, but then whoever gets, the copyrighted gets all the money from those proceeds. So people just take it down because they're not going to make any revenue off of it.
Yeah. So, whatever. So I thought I would kind of hit on that, and then moving on from there, just to kind of touch on a few more things here. The stylish PlayStation 2 first-person shooter, 13, or also XIII, is getting a remake on modern hardware. It's supposed to come to PS4 this year. It was initially due out for release on the 13th of November. However, it has been pushed back until 2020 at some point. They said there was no other explanation given other than it needs a little more development time. I never played 13, but it sounds like something that I wish I had not missed out on.
Yeah, yeah, from all the stuff that I've seen about it, like, I never played it either, but I was like, man, that looks like a cool game. Like, the art style, like, looked fantastic.
Yeah. And so I will gladly check that out sometime when it comes out in 2020.
Sweet.
Number 11. It's funny because I work in the public sphere with, young people and everything like that. And I was making jokes about Fortnite last week, and they simply said, Fortnite's dead. And I said, okay, no one plays Fortnite anymore, so what's the big thing now? And they said Minecraft. And I went, what? Are you serious? I don't believe you.
How is Minecraft making a resurgence, and why?
I don't know, but my 11th news story proves me right. The games like Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto 5 are incredibly impressive, particularly because for the month of July, they were the most popular games on the PlayStation Store. In North America, Minecraft took the top spot. And so, I don't know why or how or when, but it did. And so I know it was a slow month, but for Minecraft to take it over Fortnite, I think says something.
Yeah.
And even more so because Minecraft costs money, whereas Fortnite does not.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it's $19.
Oh, for the actual game.
For the actual game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that, because, like, one of the YouTube guys that I follow for Fortnite, he launched a Minecraft channel, so I guess he's doing both. And I was like, why would he do this? Like, he used to have a channel, like, way back in the day. I was like, why? My mind was so boggled as to, like, why he was splitting his time and doing that. But I guess this is why. It's a resurgence of Minecraft.
Yeah, so that's really fascinating to me, as somebody who never got into Minecraft, who has friends that played Minecraft, or family members that I know of that, or close friends, I should say, that do that. It shocked me a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But There is a resurgence of Minecraft happening.
Is it just like all about building? Like, I don't understand it.
I'm not sure. I also know, though, that a good friend of mine, his son, who is about 13, 14 now, he grew up playing Minecraft. And so now that he would be old enough to be a regular online PlayStation console gamer or Xbox gamer, whereas like he played it a lot on his iPad when he was younger.
Okay.
He could easily make that shift.
Right.
And so if that's a generation that grew up with that, because that game is kid-friendly, maybe we're just seeing the age of that or the resurgence of that age group be the popular or dominant reason. Now they also would start having disposable income if they're receiving allowance or starting to get their first jobs. And so they could purchase Minecraft.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about that one. Yeah. So just to wrap up the rest of that, Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, was there at the top. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled managed to hang on a little bit as well. And then you also saw Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 re-entering the charts at number 10 in Europe, and it was number 3 in the United States this month, or last month.
What's going on, Robert?
I don't know.
This is a topsy-turvy world.
This is like 1998, or when did Minecraft come out?
I don't even know.
Plants vs. Zombies, like 2003. This is 2003 all over again.
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
Just to kind of wrap up the news here, 2 more things. One, speaking of Crash Bandicoot and Crash Team Racing, Activision, clearly struck money with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. And so they did hint at they'll be chasing more retro-tinged games later down the line, as well as potentially making all new content for those 2 heroes. Activision President Rob Kostich did say he had high praise for the remakes, citing a, quote, fantastic response from players, and, quote, a big impact on bottom line. He said there was a big opportunity to, quote, think about totally new content within these IPs, end quote, implying the publisher is probably gearing up for new Crash and new Spyro adventures. So don't be surprised if they also dip into older Activision games as well, not just creating new Spyro games, too.
I mean, that makes sense.
I'm not quite sure what else they could dig into. I was trying to chew on that a little bit. Are they going to bring back Duck Dynasty? I don't think so.
Duck Dynasty?
Yeah, they did make Duck Dynasty, the game, for the PlayStation 3.
What is Duck Dynasty?
It is based on the show, Duck Dynasty. Don't know?
Okay.
If you've never seen the show, go look it up.
Okay.
Anyway,
I've heard of the show, but I don't remember there being a game that would be a retro thing that would be worth...
It wasn't that long ago. It was maybe like 6 years ago. So, I was just joking. I couldn't think of, obviously Crash Team Racing, obviously Spyro. I could see them bringing back... isn't Ghostbusters Remastered coming out? So, I would like to see them maybe bring back Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe they would reach back and bring out another Tony Hawk Pro Skater game.
I'd be okay with that.
Me too. People have been screaming about that for years, so why not give it to us?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what awaits. Anyway, just to wrap things up, last but not least, and this is going to lead us into our topic. There was a news story this week that announced that that Rocket League was following Fortnite, and I can't help but think this is Epic, obviously, buying them and their influence, that they were following Fortnite's footsteps in getting rid of the randomization of the crates that you purchase. And so your cosmetic items should be a more straightforward purchase process, from my understanding.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too. And so that is definitely Fortnite's influence, I think, and the fact that Psyonix is now belongs to Epic, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other interesting part about that is that let's just go ahead and get into our topic, shall we?
We shall.
All right, so this is the talk. And the other interesting part I thought regarding this is that there was a letter sent out by the ESA this week. And I'll just read you some of it. It says that Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are working on new policies to require loot box odds disclosure on their systems. The Entertainment Software Association Chief Counsel of Tech Policy, Michael Warneck, announced this morning at the Federal Trade Commission Inside the Game workshop on the loot box issue that they were doing this, and he recapped the industry's previous attempts to address loot box concerns, including in-game purchase labels on retail titles and platform-level spending controls on consoles and the EA Origin PC front. He said, quote, "That said, we are doing more. I'm pleased to announce this morning that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have indicated to ESA a commitment to a new platform policy with respect to the use of paid loot boxes in games that are developed for their platform. Specifically, this would apply to new games and game updates that add loot box features, and it would require the disclosure of the relative rarity or probabilities of obtaining randomized virtual items in games that are available on their platforms." And so I thought that was really interesting. He also went on to say that leading video game publishers have decided they're going to implement a similar approach at the publisher level to provide consumers with that information. And I also thought this was even more interesting, that the platform holders are targeting to implement that by 2020, just in time probably for the new generation of consoles. And that loot box disclosure odds will be on all new games by the end of 2020. And many game publishers have actually acknowledged that they're going to do this, such as Activision Blizzard, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Bungie, Electronic Arts, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony Interactive, Take-Two, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers, and Wizards of the Coast. I wanted to get your thought on this, and what you think of this whole thing going down.
I like it.
Yeah?
I think that it's a good idea to kind of disclose the odds. I mean, I know that, in Vegas, they have to, like, adhere to certain odds, and, like, with slot machines, they have to, like, they'll disclose, the winning percentages for, banks of machines sometimes. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's, and that's adult gambling. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, that's like legit gambling. You can find odds for pretty much every game that is played in Vegas through the Gaming Commission. So, I mean, it certainly makes sense to me that, because, I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of predatory in a way that, you buy a game for a kid and he's like, well, I need this cosmetics, or I need to buy this or that, or, but then it's not just buying that, it's the chance to get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many hundreds of dollars that I've spent on the crates in Rocket League.
And do you feel like you've been preyed upon?
I mean, not necessarily. I, being an older gamer, knew what I was getting into, though. You know what I mean? But it is certainly frustrating that, like the black market decals or the black market goal explosions. It's almost cheaper to buy them off the trading sites than it is to take your chances, because it's usually like 1 in 100. So you're spending $80, $100 to get those things. So that's frustrating. And maybe you luck out and you get like 1 or 2 back to back, but the odds are ever in their favor, not yours. So if that happens, you're going to be spending a couple hundred before you get the next one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I think this makes complete sense. I like, especially for Rocket League, because, I enjoy Rocket League. They put out some good content. I honestly think, to a certain extent, crates are a thing of the past in Rocket League anyways. With the Rocket Pass, I mean, the stuff they come up with Rocket Pass, that's the reason I play. You know what I mean? Because, once you hit that 70 mark, they just give you more things but painted variants, which is what people want. So, I'm level, 70 is when you start getting new things, and then it starts giving you colored variants of of some of the items. And I'm at 200 something. You know what I mean? So I have, let's say over 130, maybe 150 worth of colored variants of different things. And of course, that's random, right? That's but I'm also not paying for that. I paid for the pass itself. That was $10. And, I can play as much as I can to get better items or get the colored items that I want. Or try to, at least.
Right.
So I kind of like that system. And I like the fact that, if they do a Fortnite kind of system where they have a store that updates every day that you can buy, I'm okay for that. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see what they charge, though. Because when you get a car, so the Jurassic Park, Jeep car, that was what, $2? Maybe $3? And you got that, a goal explosion, and a couple different decals and tires and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if prices go up for stuff like that. All of a sudden, a black market decal is an epic skin in Fortnite, and it's $20. It'll be interesting to see whether people will pay that or not.
Yeah, and so it does affect that economy in that way.
Yeah.
I guess, and that announcement, the ESA, came right after Rocket League, and so I think that Rocket League clearly knew what ESA was coming out with.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they got ahead of it, saying, "Oh, well, we'll do this," and they look like the good guys. And then here it comes out, and it's like, "Oh, well, you don't even need to look like the good guys because they were going to do this anyway."
Exactly.
So that's interesting to me in one respect. The other thing that always fascinates me with this argument is if I'm an alcoholic and I know I'm prone to drinking, or if I'm a X, Y, and Z and I know I'm prone to whatever, I should probably try to avoid that temptation as much as possible.
Sure.
Now, I know that comes into conflict. Well, hold on. I know that comes into conflict with, I want to play this game, but they're putting it in front of me. And so it's tough when you want to play a game. And so that is where it does become a dangerous thing, I think. Because maybe I know I'm a gambling addict, or I know that I'm addicted to purchasing things like that, but I love a game like Rocket League for what it is. Well, now what they've done is they're preying on, they know I'm not going to avoid Rocket League. And so they're now preying on my interest in that chance taking that I like to do.
Yeah, but that's you as an adult gamer. I think where most people in the normal society have issue with it is the fact that it's making kids into gamblers.
It is, but that's where parenting comes in. That's where, parenting comes in. I will always go back to that.
Yeah.
Because I see it every day. That is where parenting comes into play. And if you're not willing to be a parent, don't blame me when your kid doesn't know what they're doing. Because, and I don't know. That will always be the number one thing for me. It always comes back to parenting.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're certainly not wrong. You have to be a good parent. You have to understand what your kids are playing. You have to be diligent about that. But, in some countries, it's completely banned. In Belgium, it's not, you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Anything with gambling attached to it, just you automatically get a specific thing. As opposed to, because there was that, when Apex Legends came out or whatever. There was that, in the past, in their little season pass, when it first came out, there was a difference in the pass in Belgium because, in America, it was a gambling. There was like one level or two levels that like you didn't know exactly what you were going to get, and that was considered gambling in Belgium. So they had a set amount of like stones or whatever the hell it was, that you actually got, because even something like that, because the pass was paid for, they considered that gambling.
Right.
So, I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, 'cause some countries take a huge stance on it, clearly. And I already have laws in place that deny companies from doing that. And I think that's a good thing. I mean, it certainly helps parents. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Helps them understand, like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about the fact that my kid might be gambling online.
Right.
Unless they're actually going to gambling sites online, which is a whole different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a heavier issue.
Yeah, way heavier.
Certainly a parenting issue, no doubt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, we'll see.
It's an interesting thing. I think it's a good step. I honestly, because Fortnite Battle Royale is such a huge thing, I forgot that in Save the World they actually have randomized crates, because they have those llamas. And I completely forgot about them. And you can buy, and the fact that you could buy those. Because, I mean, who actually plays Save the World?
That's true, too. That's an interesting...
But they did make a thing saying that it'll show you exactly what it's going to be now before opening it.
Right.
Which is nice. I don't know. I mean, more transparency is not a bad thing, I don't think.
Oh, I agree. So,
yeah.
I just think it's interesting, this entire... And so, that's why I joked. I think it's the end of an era for perhaps loot boxes.
Yeah, honestly, I think... Because, I mean, when you see the odds, I mean, do you really want to say, yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because here's the thing. Why not just make it a set price? Like, what's wrong with that? If people want it, they'll buy it.
Exactly.
Like, why, not scam,
because I think there's more money to be made.
See, I don't know if that's true, though. I don't necessarily... I mean, why do you think there's more money to be made through the gambling aspect of it?
Because if you make it $5, right? And I go, okay, I'd buy that for $5. Or if you make it 99 cents and I know I have a chance, but I don't know how much of a chance I have to get that item, I'll probably drop if I'm not paying attention, right? And this is, I mean, it varies obviously with amounts and things like that. But there could be that chance that I would just go ahead and gamble away and not pay any attention to the fact that I've just spent $10 trying to get that instead of the $5 to just purchase it. Because if you give me an option just to purchase it, I will probably go for that. But if you tell me 99 cents and I go, didn't get this time, well, that's okay, I'll use that one. Or that one's still nice, right? I still like that decal, or I still like this. I'll spend another $1 to try again. Oh, I didn't get it. Well, I like that one, but I'll try, and then it adds up over time. So I think that's part of the mentality behind those, whether or not it actually happens. I think that's part of the intention. That people will spend much more doing that.
But then there's also those people like, I want this specific item, and they get it right away, and then they've only spent $1.
Yes. But that's so they can statistically fit that odd, right?
Sure.
That number, which is so funny because if it's 1 in 1,000, what about the other 900 people who might have spent $10 doing it?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, I agree with you, but I do think it is the end because I do think that will help put into perspective for some people what is going on or how things are occurring.
Yeah, exactly. I think the transparency will be a huge thing, and people will be like, meh, I'd rather just buy the skins or whatever. And then it'll be in a thing where, you're gonna have to buy every skin.
Yes.
In every game.
So,
which will be its own annoyance.
It will, but I think that this will be a lot of people will see this as a win.
Yeah, of course.
And so
Yeah,
I
because
think
they did, with Fortnite, they did a crossover with Stranger Things, and it kind of, you can see how Fortnite is becoming more and more commercial with their promotions and their crossovers. But I mean, if people want it, people want it. They know what people are going to spend money on. They know that they go to these popular shows or these popular, there's like that Nike event or whatever. Nike's a huge company. Of course, they're going to want, people are going to want an outfit that's designed for Nike or whatever. So I don't know. I think you'll see more of that kind of crossover promotional stuff instead of loot crates.
Okay. I'll be interested to see, how that unfolds. I'll be very curious.
Yeah.
And so we'll kind of we'll monitor this and see where it goes. But I would be surprised. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this that we're not talking about is the ESA obviously leaked journalists' information a couple weeks ago regarding people who had gone to EA this year. Their phone numbers and their addresses were accidentally leaked on the website.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw anything about that.
I didn't see that, no.
And so, even though the ESA is helping people get this loot box thing straight, it does make me wonder how much money they're going to pay out in a class action lawsuit for leaking that information. And so, I guess where I'm going with all of this is the ESA is hoping this loot box thing come around, but I wonder how much money they'll have to pay out in damages and how that will affect E3 and affect this, this governing board doing this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I sense that the ESA may not be around very much. They may be joining GameStop and going bye-bye eventually. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see what happens. And I'm really fascinated by the fact that on one hand they're doing this positive press thing, and on the other hand, they screwed up royally a couple of weeks ago. So it's a very complicated time for them right now over there at the ESA.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it unfolds. We'll just continue to monitor it.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, let's move on then, shall we?
We shall.
All right. It's time to see you soon.
See you soon.
So this is where we go ahead and take a look at, for the uninitiated, we take a look at the games that are coming out this week on the drop on the PlayStation blog. We like to acknowledge them at least once, even if we'll never play them ever. But at least we can acknowledge that they do exist and they do have a voice. Yeah. So, Matt, I haven't looked at the list at all this week. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Let me. I'm gonna
thinking way too hard about this.
Yeah, sorry. It looked like something cut out on my screen. Sorry, I was making sure the whole page loaded. I'll go first.
All right.
Ancestors Legacy, PS4 Digital. Ancestors Legacy is a squad-based real-time strategy with a strong focus on tactics. Inspired by medieval European history, it brings to life 4 different nations and their conflicts, usually resolved by war. The game combines resource management and base building with large-scale squad-based battles across vast battlefields. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, quite a mouthful too.
Yeah, not something I would play, but I think that's one of our most well-written descriptions.
Agreed. Edna and Harvey. Harvey's New Eyes. PS4 Digital. Shy schoolgirl Lily is having a tough time at the convent. Only her imagination helps her to escape from the strict rule of Mother Superior. When her best friend, Edna, disappears under mysterious circumstances, Lily faces a tough journey not only to get her friend back, but also to confront her own subconscious fears. Isn't Mother Superior in a Beatles song?
Yeah, probably.
Mother Superior jumped the gun, right? Isn't that the lyric?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think it is.
Yeah.
Yep, happiness is a warm gun, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, I just made me think of that. I feel like I'd be humming that the whole time I'm playing that game.
I mean, convents all have Mother Superiors. That's a normal thing, though.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I think of when I hear that. That specific phrase.
Yeah.
You know.
Mother Superior jump the gun.
All right, you're
I know
up.
what you're talking about. All right. Exception. PS4 digital. Out 8/14. When an old woman's computer system is taken over by a virus bent on total annihilation, you assume control of an ordinary software program transformed into an elite combat machine. Exception is a combat platformer set inside a computer system which has been hijacked by a totalitarian virus. Ooh.
I give them bonus points for the fact that it's an old woman's computer.
Yeah, that poor old woman. I feel bad for her.
I know. She's got a war going on inside her screen. She doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
All right, Genesis, not Sega. Genesis is an action-packed classic MOBA themed around a futuristic sci-fi setting, offering a rich roster of 28 original heroes, as well as various skins, weapons, and other cosmetics for players to choose from. Core gameplay will include a competitive PvP mode, as well as a single-player co-op PvE campaign. Timeout. Is it single-player, or is it co-op? Because it's a single-player co-op PvE campaign.
Maybe it's like a online co-op. It has to be. That's why it's single player.
That's weird. I don't like that.
Because, like Fortnite is the PvE is kind of single player but co-op. You know what I mean? Like you can't do a local co-op.
Whatever.
I mean, it's still garbage description, but
everything else was fine. I just want to know about single player co-op.
No, I hear you. I'm not disagreeing.
If you know about that, email me at weare1ur2@gmail.com because I have no idea.
Please explain the ins and outs of that to Rob. That'd be great. All right, up next we got Gravity Duck. PS4, PS Vita, digital cross-buy. We know Robert loves those games.
Yeah,
have you ever wanted to be rich?
Nope.
You know I have. What if you could become rich and control gravity? What? This duck can help. Nope. This duck can, with your help. Flip, dodge, and traverse mind-bending gravity puzzles in 140 levels in order to grab all the eggs to return to the Maui statue. Okay.
So, is he the world's richest duck?
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I also want to point out, if you look at the picture there, and you look at those plants, that looks straight out of Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
All right. So maybe this is like Flappy Bird meets Plants vs. Zombies.
Floppy Bird?
Flappy.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is.
You don't know what Flappy Bird is?
I don't think so.
Oh Lord, we need to bring you out from underneath your rock. Flappy Bird was like the biggest IO mobile game in history, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh, that explains it.
The creator pulled the game after like 2 months. He was making like $100,000 a day.
What?
On that game.
Why would you pull the game?
He said it was too much pressure.
All right.
I kid you not. Look it up sometime. Flappy Bird.
All right.
All right, moving on. No Man's Sky Beyond. PS4 out 8/14. No Man's Sky is an epic science fiction adventure. Why can't we just get the update explanation? Why do we have to talk about the game itself? Here we go. No Man's Sky is an epic science fiction adventure set across an infinite universe in which every star is the light of a distant sun, orbited by planets filled with life. Each yours to visit. Explore never-before-seen worlds and trade, fight, and survive on a galactic scale. Come on, Sean Murray. You're better than that. No Man's Sky Beyond, I'll tell you. I'll Sean Murray. I'll help you out. It is the expansion that will include VR as well as new planets and new trading tactics and all of that stuff and new co-op stuff. That's what that write-up should say. It should not say No Man's Sky Beyond. I don't care if it's a new product, quote unquote. Right? That's really what it is. It's the game updated with that stuff. All right.
You said that so eloquently. It's almost too good. All right, PC Building Simulator. This would be interesting for me, just because I want to know how to build a PC. All right, PS4 digital. Build and grow your very own computer repair enterprise as you learn to diagnose, fix, and build PCs. With real-world licensed components and comprehensive hardware and software simulation, you can plan and bring your ultimate PC to life.
I feel like that has to be a PlayStation or a console exclusive because no person who owns a PC is going to be like, boy, you know what I've always wanted to do? Build my own PC. No, it is on Steam.
Man.
Unbelievable.
Of course it's on Steam.
It's got a 9 out of 10.
Of course it does. Because
with
most of those...
over 3,000 reviews.
Hell yeah, dude.
Of course.
That's awesome. All right, Rob, bring it home.
Ugh, my brains. All right. Vasera collection. Vasera collection? Vasera.
Meh.
Vasera. For the very first time, the highly acclaimed Japanese arcade shoot-'em-ups Vasera and Vasera 2 are made available to the world via this collection. Science fiction meets history in these arcade classics, which take place in an alternate timeline where technologically advanced weaponry and equipment are a reality.
Cool beans.
Oh yeah, you sound excited there.
No, you caught me in a yawn. I wonder why.
I just don't get the No Man's Sky 2.0 stupid write-up. Anyway.
Rob, how do you really feel about the No Man's Sky Beyond write-up?
Well, let me tell you.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
That'll be for another time. I think we're out of time, Robert.
I do want to point out to people, please go download your free PS Plus games for the month. Right? Wipeout Omega Collection. Which includes 3 Wipeout games. And if you have PSVR, includes the VR expansion. Nice. You can play it in VR. Also, I'd like to point out that your other one is the ever excellent Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
Sniper Elite 4. And so, go download that because that's fun.
You know what? I honestly don't remember if I downloaded last month's games again.
You're a failure.
I know. I'm failing hard. I don't know what's going on with me. I mean, I know that one was Detroit Become Human, which I already have. But what was the other one?
Well, it wasn't Pez. I know that.
I definitely would have downloaded that.
Oh, wow.
Was it the UFC thing? Or was that
No, it was the Horizon Chase Turbo.
Oh, okay.
Because I told you that was excellent.
Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did.
That was definitely worth the download. So, download those 2. And I want to mention that if you're interested, now, by the time this podcast goes out, it may not be up anymore, but there is the Black Desert demo or beta that is up too. And so if you're into MMOs, I've heard good things about Black Desert, and so I will be trying that beta out before it expires on the 13th.
Better get hop to it, Robert.
Oh, it's downloading right now.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I made sure I went onto my little PlayStation Store web browser and hit download. So
that's nice.
Yeah. All right.
That's it, right?
That's it. I guess we'll be back next week.
Yeah. Well, also, if you disagree with Robert, or if you agree with him, hit him up. Let him know. Let him know about how you feel about the No Man's Sky description.
It's garbage.
Let's see what the community thinks.
Yeah, I dare someone to email me about that. I dare you.
Oh, man.
Anyway, all right, well, until next time, I guess. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave us a nice little review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast of choice. If you really feel generous, you can head over to our Patreon, drop us $1, and we'll continue to make this. It'll help pay the bills that it costs to make this. And until next time, game on.
Game on. This is the outro music for the week. Sega themed. Sega.
Didn't they used to scream that? Sega?
Probably.
Yeah, they did. Copyright strike.
Right?